Welcome, everyone. Welcome to How to Find Electronic Resources on the AST Library website. My name is Robert Martel, and I'm the instruction librarian here at the Atlantic School of Theology. So the first place we have to start at is the AST Library website. You can find that quite easily by simply Googling AST Library. Once you get to the main page, you'll want to head to the journal article databases area of the website. So there's two links. You have one here or over here on the left. So let's move into the electronic resources section of the library website by clicking on one of these links. Okay. It'll bring you to the databases section of the website. And electronic resources are more than just databases, but this is the most comprehensive page we have for listing our electronic resources. Electronic resources include databases, electronic journals, and ebooks. For now, we're going to start with databases. So on this page, you have two listings. On your left, you have your religion and theology databases, and on your right, you have your multidiscipline databases. The religion and theology databases are exactly that. They're databases that focus on theological content, while the multidiscipline databases have a variety of content, religion, theology, psychology, and other allied disciplines that would prove useful when doing theological research. So let's take a look at the left side, religion and theology databases. The ATLA Religion Database, the New Testament Abstracts, and the Old Testament Abstracts. So these databases here, these two, and this one, are part of what we call EBSCO databases. EBSCO is simply the name of the company that compiles these databases. You'll notice here it says that the ATLA Religion Database is a full text database. The New Testament and the Old Testament abstracts are exactly that. They're databases, there's no full text content. They're databases filled with abstracts, but the subject matter is far more focused. It's scriptural subject matter, while the ATLA Religion Database is a variety. You're going to have history, systematic theology, pastoral theology, and scripture. If you hover over them, you'll get a description. So, for instance, this database includes bibliographic citations, abstracts, full-text PDFs in the following subject areas: Bible, archaeology, church history, mission and ecumenism, pastoral ministry, world religions, religious studies, theology, philosophy, ethics. If you hover over the abstract databases, this is the description. Includes abstracts of articles, reviews, and book summaries in the following subject areas: New Testament, general, gospel, Acts, epistles to Revelation, biblical theology, and the world of the New Testament. So hovering over the database will give you a sense of the content. Let's look at a couple of others. Let's see. We're going to remove some of this distraction here. Let me just get rid of this. Clean it up. Okay. Your Oxford databases, both of them focus on biblical content. Now, if you're wondering about, before I go any further, if you're wondering what the EBSCO databases look like, I have a video that's already out called Searching the EBSCO article databases. And if you watch that video, you'll get to see what the search interface looks like. I'm going to take you down and we're going to look at the Oxford databases very briefly. So you have your Biblical Studies Online and your Oxford bibliographies. Biblical Studies Online has access to 6 essential Oxford University Press Bible texts. Let's take a look at what it looks like. Okay. In order to access this, you need your library barcode and your password. So unlike the EBSCO database where you need an Open Athens username and password. For the Oxford ones, you need your library card number and your password, which is typically the last 4 digits of your phone number. So get your library ID card and type in your barcode number. And the last 4 digits of your phone number. It may not be the last 4 digits of your phone number. You may have changed it. You have that option. If you have trouble retrieving your password, simply contact the Atlanta School of Theology Library and we'll help you out. And we're in. So we're into Oxford Biblical Studies Online. You get a sense of what's available in it. Reference material, Bible texts, images and maps. Side-by-side view of 2 biblical texts. Side-by-side view with commentary. This is a great online electronic resource for those doing a course, an Old Testament or Hebrew Scripture course, and you need to look at multiple texts. Right here, it gives you a guide to the biblical commentaries, a reference guide. Definitely worth exploring. We're going to go back to the Atlanta School of Theology Library website, and we're going to take a peek at this resource here. So we just looked at this one here. Now we're going to take a look at this one here. Now, this resource is asking for our Open Athens credentials. And as I've said before in other videos, Open Athens is simply a doorway. If you can unlock the door with your username and password, you can get into the database. It's simply a way of authenticating yourself so that the database knows you're a student or staff member of the Atlantic School of Theology. So I'm going to put in my username. Password. And all students and staff have Open Athens credentials. If you don't remember your credentials or if you need credentials, contact the Atlanta School of Theology Library and we'll set you up. So I'm now into Oxford Bibliographies, and the subject matter is biblical studies. So this is a display alphabetical of different concepts and people. It's searchable. You can click on the alphabet to move through it. Again, a resource that's useful for Scripture Studies course. I'm going to take us back again to the Atlanta School of Theology page on databases. We'll clean up this here. Now, the digital Karl Barth library is a great resource. It contains English and German, the German text and the English translation of all of Karl Barth's works. The Encyclopedia of the Bible and its Reception is another great resource. This is an encyclopedia of interdisciplinary and international biblical reception, contains Hebrew Bible, Old Testament, New Testament. I'm just reading right here. I'm reading the hover box here. New Testament historical context spans biblical reception in Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and other religions, as well as in literature, visual arts, music, and film. Let's take a look at this resource. This is a resource that will ask you for your Open Athens credentials. Now, it didn't ask me for my Open Athens credentials because I had already entered them before when I tried to access the Oxford Biblical Studies Bibliographies resource. And my browser has just saved that login, and so it knows I don't need to re-enter my Open Athens credentials. But normally, you would have to enter Open Athens credentials to access this resource. So let's take a look. Okay, so the landing page doesn't take me directly to the resource. So it wants to know what I'm looking for. Well, in that case, I am going to copy this. I'm going to paste it. I'll get rid of these words full text. I'm going to search the name of the resource I'm trying to find, which is called Encyclopedia of the Bible, and its reception here online. It's an online resource. And let's see. All right. So it's retrieved a few. The one I want is the one that says online. Now, when I look here at the database page, it doesn't say online at the end, and it should. That's something for me to fix. But it's an electronic resource, so I know it's the online version I want. So I'm going to click on the title. And let's take a look at what it has to offer. Okay, right here. Contains Hebrew Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, historical context, spans biblical reception in Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and other religions, as well as in literature, visual arts, music, and film. This is a very comprehensive resource. Now, to get into it, we're going to click on Access Content. Content. So if we scroll down, it has a similar interface to the biblical studies bibliographies, where you look at content alphabetically. Let's go back. So here's the resource we're looking at now. You can see a biblical, an alphabetical organization of content right here. So let's click on one of these right here. Abduction. Well, kidnapping, fair enough. All right. Where's it going to take us? Here we go. Kidnapping. Hebrew Bible, Old Testament. And then a discussion and account with scriptural references of that concept, that term, with a bibliography and more content following. It's searchable as well. And you can download this entry here as a PDF. I'm going to close some of these, and we're going to go back to the Atlantic School of Theology Library webpage. So these are some of the religion and theology databases. And over here, we have your multidiscipline databases. You've seen a demonstration. You can see a demonstration, that is, of me searching the Academic Search Premier database in conjunction with the Atlas Religion database. Now, these databases here, a number of these are, at the moment, free trial databases. So I'm going to leave them out. But this one here, this here, this is a collection of online reference materials. Let's take a look at them. There are about 50 different resources, all online, and they're reference materials. And right here, you have a breakdown of the collection subjects right here, with the largest number falling under social sciences. So scroll down, take a look. Let's see. We'll go to the religion one, the second largest collection here. So you have access to all of these reference materials here. Dictionary of Religion, Encyclopedia of American Religions, Buddhism, Islam, Encyclopedia of Psychology and Religion, Women in Religion. Then the New Catholic Encyclopedia, Religious Right, Encyclopedia of Religious Practices. So getting into one of these, I'm going to go back up. Let's go to the social sciences. And let's pick something. Encyclopedia of Homelessness. It's not an overtly theological resource, but there's content there that may be relevant to research you're doing. So view ebook. And then the page loads. What I'd like to see is a breakdown. Here we go. So up here. So you have some options here. Cite, download, highlight sections of it, table of contents. I want to look in there. So alcohol and drugs, criminal activity and policies, and policing, homelessness, rural. And it's searchable. Let's search it. Let's put in ministry. Okay. I'm going to go back. I searched it in the broad search box, which is not where I wanted to search it. Instead, I'm going to go back to the table of contents and click on a different area of the book. And I need a way to search this content. I'm going to go back up to the basic search. Here we go. Search entire document. This is better. Again, it's searching multiple texts. So I'm not getting really what I wanted to get, and that was I wanted to search that particular encyclopedia. But what I am getting is it looks like it's searching the 50-some volumes that you have access to as a student of Atlantic School of Theology. So this is promising. So I searched ministry. And it's bringing up content. This is good. Really, this isn't how you use reference materials. You tend to target one because it matches your subject area. So you're looking at a reference material item on age, but you're not using it as a theological dictionary. There's obviously content associated with the title and the subject matter of that particular reference volume. All right, I'm going to take you back to Atlantic School of Theology. So we just looked at the Gale Virtual Reference Library. I'll clean this up. I'm going to void the resources that are limited trials. And we're going to move down and take a look at these two resources here, Medline and ERIC. ERIC is education resources, Medline, medical abstracts. again, normally you'd be asked for an Open Athens. You would come to an Open Athens screen and you'd have to enter your credentials, but I don't have to right now because I entered my credentials earlier and my browser knows this and it's kept that. And so I'm not being prompted to enter credentials. So in the educational database like this, it's worth searching for theological content. Let's start broad. Let me see. Ministry, children. Let's see what we get. All right. My results are coming up very broad. So what I want to do is I want to go back and refine that search. Let me go back. Church and children. This is not a theological database, but I'm testing its content is what I'm doing right now. All right. Here we go. All right. So the role of the Black church and charter school movement. So this is going to be, the database is a secular database. It's simply the content is on education. And so you're going to get content that touches on where the context might be a church, a congregation, religion, theological setting, but it's a secular database and it's not about theology. But I want to know what the content is. I want to see if there's valuable content. So if you had a topic that involved education and ministry education and in some sort of theological context, this would be a good database. And so say we were interested in one of these articles right here. Assessing the impact of a paid children, youth, or family worker on Anglican congregations in England. Let's click on the title and see what happens. So we get an abstract. You see subject headings. So you see some subject headings here. And this is an article in the Journal of Research on Christian Education. And let's see how far we can go in this. All right. Let's click this external link here. This is a DOI link, a digital object identifier link. And it's taken me to a publisher's website, but I don't have access to this paid content. The ERIC database is really mostly abstract. There's very little full text content. It's also letting me check AST for this item. Let's see what happens. No, it's not something we have. But that's not an uncommon occurrence. Finding an article that the Atlantic School of Theology doesn't have access to. There are so many publications out there. So if this article were to interest you, then you would need to keep that bibliographic data and put a request in at the Atlantic School of Theology Library to retrieve that article for you. I'm going to take us back and I'm going to clean up this up here. And Medline is the same. It is a database with medical content. And medical content, again, may have some theological, let's see, theology. the medical database. Let's see what pops up. All right. Interesting. Temperance as an environmental virtue, an interpretation Thomas Aquinas in a green personalism perspective. Relational autonomy, what does it mean and how is it used in end-of-life care? A systematic review of argument-based ethics and literature. There's a lot of potential in a database like this, but like Eric, it's mostly abstract and no full text content. But we can search for that article and try to bring it in for you if you're interested in it. I'm going to take you back. Let's go back to this page here. So this was intended to be a brief tour of what the databases page at the Niagara School of Theology Library has to offer you. These are the sorts of online and digital resources we have. When it comes to articles and journal articles, then the EBSCO databases is where to look. And I encourage you to watch my video in which I demonstrate searching the EBSCO online article databases. The other component that's left out are ebooks. Well, where are the ebooks? The ebooks aren't listed on this page. If you want to look for ebooks, you're going to have to search for them in the Novanet book catalog. And that's a subject for another video. So I hope this video has been useful to you, and I wish you luck in exploring the electronic resources that are on this page and the various databases. Thank you.